Creatures of a day, what is a someone? What is a no one? A dream of a shade is man. But when the radiance that is given by Zeus comes, then there is a light shining over men, and the recircling of time is sweet to the taste. Aegina, mother near and dear, make a naval mission of freedom for this polis, as you bring it back to safety, back to Zeus. May it happen with the help of Icos the ruler, and of Peleus, and of noble Telamon, and especially of Achilles.
I'm looking here at a very difficult piece of songmaking by Pindar, and this kind of song was meant to be sung and danced by the local population of a particular community.
Yes.
And in this case, the community is the island state of Aegina, which used to be a very powerful rival of Athens.
Right.
But by the time of this composition, its glory days are long gone.
Right.
And there's a lot of nostalgia about what those glory days were like, especially at the time of the Persian Wars. And I'm thinking of 480 BCE, the naval battle of Salamis, when the island state of Aegina was particularly successful in representing a cause that will later be described as the cause of freedom, freedom from the Persian Empire.
Right. It's just about an hour south of Athens, right? By boat.
Yes. Southwest. Yes.
Southwest, yes.
And in this choral song and dance, there's a meditation about what it is to be a human. And we would call it ephemeral.
Right.
What ephemeral means in the original Greek is creature of the day.
Right.
And I still remember the original Greek of this. Epameroi, tidetis tidutis, skias onar anthropos, alotan aigla dios dotos eltai, lampron phengos epestin andron, kai melichos aion. So that's part of what we want to analyze. Epameroi is syntactically just hanging there.
Yep. No subject, no verb.
No subject, no verb.
Just an
It's
epithet.
just creatures of the day.
Yep.
And that's what we are.
Yep.
If you think about it, as creatures of the day, we come and go.
Right.
What's the difference between being alive and not existing at all?
Right.
And in fact, that's what the next set of words says, tidetis tidutis. What is it to be somebody? What is it to be nobody? And then the answer, and it's a riddling answer, skias onar anthropos, a human being is the dream of a shade. And as I like to think, the dream of a shade is a subjective relationship as well as an objective relationship. It's not just dreaming about shades, which are not substantial. It's being dreamed by shades. It's as if we, the living, were the realization of the hopes, the aspirations of our own ancestors. And when we finally have our day in the sun, we are being literally dreamed by our ancestors, and they rejoice in the realization that we experience in that one moment in the sun when there's a military victory like the naval victory of the Aeginetans, or when there's an athletic victory, which is what is being celebrated in this particular song.
Right.
And it's not so much the specifics of the victory, it's the reignition of life that truly must be celebrated. And that's what the song is saying, this must be celebrated.
Right. It's the shade in the sense of a ghost, right?
Yes.
Of a form of appearance of a dead ancestor.
Of a dead ancestor,
Yes.
and a dead ancestor is a shade.
Right.
That's what they're called
Right.
in Homeric poetry, for example.
And
So
you do have examples where people dream of them, right?
absolutely.
Yep, yep.
And here, actually, in this song, if we saw it in its larger context, what we actually get to see is a heroic ancestor dreaming of the moment.
Right.
Or may I say, dreaming the moment
Exactly.
when his son is succeeding where he had failed when he
Right,
was
right, right.
alive. It's
Yep.
just beautiful.
Yep.
But what I love about it, and I haven't got to this part yet, is, okay, so we humans are ephemeral except for that fleeting moment that we have when we get our day in the sun.
Right.
How do we get that day in the sun? It's the light that Zeus himself radiates as the
Right.
god of the brightness of the day. And when that happens, then Ion, which is the cycle of life,
Right.
both for heroes and for us in the present,
Right.
that life is re-energized, reanimated, and then life is sweet.
Right. Right.
But it has to happen at the right time, the right place.
Right.
And then the part that I didn't recite in the original Greek, the song turns to addressing Aegina, not so much as an island state anymore, but as Mother Earth for the native population.
Right.
And the prayer goes, Aegina, mother near and dear, mother philae,
Right.
make a naval mission of freedom for this city-state, this island state. As you bring it back to safety, And we haven't had a chance to talk about this word, komidze, but it's yet another word
For salvation. Right.
that has everything to do with salvation,
Yeah.
that could be translated in sacred context as bring back to light and life.
Right.
And that's what's going to happen. And how's it going to happen? By way of the active mental assistance, help of the great heroes that the Aeginetans claim as
Right.
their native sons.
These are their
And for
ancestors,
them,
yeah.
even Achilles is a native son.
Yeah,
And I love
yeah.
the way it says, may it happen with the help of Iacchos, the ruler. That's the grandfather.
Right.
And of Peleus, that's the father. And of noble Telamon, that's the uncle.
Right.
And especially of Achilles. And so it all comes down to Achilles
Right,
again
right.
as the hero whose active mental energy
Right.
saves populations
Right.
after he's already dead to this our world, but
Wow.
he's very much alive and immortalized
Yep.
in the world of heroes, what we cannot fully understand either temporally or spatially.
Right.